Hello everyone, and thank you for joining our live video tonight. We're so excited to have you here. We have a great show lined up for you tonight, and we are just so thankful that you have taken the time to join us. We want to go over a couple of things real quick before we get started. This is a YouTube live video, and there is a subscribe button right below. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with any videos that we're going to be doing in the near future. Also, check out our website. We're going to throw that up on the screen for you now. There's a lot of great resources on there for you. There's our blogs. There's quite a few on there that has a lot of great resources on how to get involved with different activities in the outdoors, as well as our directory. We are all in quarantine right now. Hopefully, we are obeying the laws that are out right now. And now is a great time to be looking at our directory and seeing some great resources to use on upcoming trips. If you want to do some outfitting, kayaking, camping, that kind of thing, we have a lot of LGBTQ plus outfitters and businesses in that directory that can help you with those adventures that you have coming up. We want to take a minute right now and do a new segment that we are calling Postcards from Quarantine. All right, we've asked some of our viewers to send in some photos from their quarantine so we can see what it is like, and we've got some great responses this week that we want to share with you. The first one, when your quarantine buddy starts eyeing your snacks. At least you have a pet in quarantine, I guess. Next, when your coworker invades your workspace. I can relate to that one a lot with our little Oliver. Get off the computer and give me some attention. Next one of our healthcare heroes trying out his new smile. Love that, Josh. Thank you so much for all the work you're doing for the virus that is going on right now. Everybody that is helping our heroes, and we're just so thankful that you are doing that and putting a smile on your patients' faces. And then we also have when there's too much social distancing.
If it wasn't for these daily hikes, I probably would get super stir crazy and lose it. So thanks to these cute puppies, which I can't find. Oh no, I lost my dogs. Just kidding, they're right here. I just can't find them on the camera.
At least Randy's dogs are obeying the 6-foot rule. And then our last one, when your quarantine buddy has a different idea of fun than you. I love that photo so much. Thank you guys for sending those in. If you have any photos that you want to send in to us next week, you can either send them to info@lgbtoutdoors.com or you can DM them to us in our Instagram. So let's get started, all right? Our guest tonight is Sarah Anderson. Sarah is an avid traveler and global adventurer. She's super passionate about ethical and responsible use of resources, and we're going to look at some ways to be better stewards of the natural world that we all love. From Denver, Colorado, welcome, Sarah. All right, we are having just a tad bit of technical difficulty. Sarah, are you there?
Oh,
There
I'm
you are.
okay. Hi, Justin. Thank you for
Hey,
having me.
absolutely. How are you doing today?
Really good.
Good. Thank you for taking the time out and chatting with us. We know that you are very passionate about the topics and the outdoors that we're going to be talking about tonight, and so we're glad to have you here. To start things off, just tell us a little bit about you, how you got so into the outdoors, and what you're doing to pass time during this quarantine right now.
Yeah. So my name is Sarah. My pronouns are she and her. And I moved to Colorado about 3 years ago after I graduated from college to start my career out here. So I do have a 9 to 5 job during the week, but I am a weekend warrior. And that's what I do on the weekends. I go out and adventure. This photo here is from Moab, Utah. one of my favorite
Beautiful.
adventures to date. Um, this was just an incredible trip. So if you guys ever get the chance to go out to Moab, I highly recommend it. And then other than that, I've been quarantined for the past 30 something days. Privileged to be working from home. But I am an introvert and thriving, guys. So I'm as much as I love to be outdoors, I'm a homebody as well.
That's surprising. I would have thought you were more of an extrovert. We've loved to feature a lot of your photos that you've been sharing on your Instagram on our Instagram. So I know some of our followers are familiar with you, and it seems like you'd love to be out in nature. I guess, though, that could be very introverted if you're going out on these adventures you're alone most of the time. So makes sense. Makes sense. Tell us a little bit more
Yeah.
about your love for the outdoors. Did that happen when you were young? Is it something that's developed later in life? What started that?
Yeah, so I've always loved the outdoors. But in the summer of seventh grade, I went on this adventure camp for 3 weeks where we were pretty much in the backcountry in the mountains. We were hiking, biking, whitewater rafting, kayaking. I mean, just doing these amazing mountain activities every single day for 3 weeks. And that's when I really had my first taste of what the great outdoors is.
That's awesome. That seems like a great experience for our first outdoors experience. And then that love for the
Totally.
outdoors just has developed, and you've ever since just been passionate about the outdoors. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like the two biggest things that you're really passionate about is hiking and traveling.
Correct. Yeah.
That's cool. What's some of your favorite places that you've actually got to travel to, and tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So this past December, I was able to go on an amazing trip to Egypt with my dad. We spent some time there. This is us at the pyramids, the
Nice.
Great Pyramids. We actually hiked up the tallest pyramid there. And it was just an incredible sight, just one of those bucket list places. This here is at Luxor, Egypt. My dad and I took an overnight train to get here on Christmas Day. So this is us exploring the Luxor temple with nobody there Christmas morning.
That's incredible. With all your travels that you do, like you're obviously I see a lot of couples on Instagram that travel a lot. It's very popular with lesbian couples. It seems like to go and travel the world, which is incredible. Have you ever been in situations where you feel unsafe about that, or you totally feel fine about being yourself wherever you go? Or what advice would you give to people that are looking to plan trips to places like Egypt that might not be quite as friendly or as welcoming as other countries?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And it's something that I do think about and consider, but it never hinders me from going somewhere. If I do go to a more strict country that has different social, you know, norms than us, then I'll totally respect that. If I were traveling to Egypt with my partner, we would probably, just be a little bit more conservative in public, and then, at nighttime, we, it doesn't matter. So,
Right.
but yeah, I would just be cognizant of where you're going and what kind of social norms are accepted there, and just you know align with that.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. Like, I'm married, and me and my husband, we love to travel. Usually, when we do, we're doing humanitarian or mission trips. And a big passion of mine has always been Africa since I was a little kid, Africa and photography. And so I've been many times before getting to take him. But like when we did, obviously, some of the countries we've been to in Africa, we got to just be a little bit more cautious of the culture and area that we're in. But I'm totally like you. I'm
Yeah,
all about going and seeing places and not going to let things hinder me from going and experiencing the world that we live in. It's amazing. So I respect
absolutely.
you, and that's awesome. So good for you for that. You're in Denver, And so we know there's a lot of nature and cool outdoors places around you. Are there any clubs or outdoor groups or anything that you're a part of there in Denver and Colorado?
I haven't actually like gotten to be a part of a club or anything like that. But if anyone is watching this and knows LGBT outdoors community or something, like let me know. That would be awesome to connect with like-minded people like that. There is one outdoor community that is on my radar here in Denver. It's called Colorado Mountain Club, and they have all kinds of mountain activities and outdoor activities that you can do with other like-minded people. And like there's an avalanche safety course that I'm really interested in.
Nice.
So they have like safety courses, medical courses, you know, for like when you're out in the backcountry. So just really valuable things that you could always use in your tool bag when you're out adventuring. So yeah, that's what I would recommend here in Denver.
Very cool. One thing that I know about you, because I've really checked out your Instagram and your YouTube channel and everything, you are really passionate about taking care of our earth, recycling, respecting our planet. And I would love to dive into that with you because I know that there's a lot of different levels of this. I know that like there are some people that just don't care at all about this and think things like global warming is a hoax and everything is fine. And then there's people that go to an extreme and just like every single thing has to be recycled and taken care of, and they're just meticulous about it. I feel like probably most of our viewers and followers are somewhere in the middle. I know even for like me and my husband, we are very passionate about the outdoors and we do recycle and there are, but I know that there's more that we can do at the same time to make our earth a better place for future generations, which is really what it's about. So can you take us through some steps as someone that's really passionate about this of things that we can do as a community to make a difference on the earth that we live on?
For sure. And just to start off by saying, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just takes a little bit of mindfulness about where things go when you're through with the life of them. So not every we don't need a million people, you know, doing it right every single time, but we just need everybody collectively trying together. So some things that we send to the landfill have to do with like and clothing and textiles. There's towels in your kitchen, just anything that you like material wise like that. So there are a couple of places that I know where you can take these to give these items a second life. So if you have anything like I just said, sheets, bathroom towels, bathroom rugs, kitchen rugs, socks, underwear, bras, like things that you would normally not donate, you can take them to a textile recycling bin. There's one that's by my house. It's called Us Again, and I just take everything there, dump it in the bin, and it's taken away and given a second life to be like a carpet pad or something like that. Some
That's
other
awesome.
things that we send, yeah. So some other things that we send to the landfill are like our snack packaging, you know, like granola bars, chip bags, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So there's this really awesome recycling company, and they recycle like everything. You can get on their website. It's called TerraCycle. And with TerraCycle, they recently partnered with REI, and they have like a little bin inside every REI that I've ever been to. And right now, you can take your snack packaging and recycle it in there. And what they do with that packaging after they come to pick it up is that they make it into picnic tables for the outdoors.
That's amazing. Really,
Yeah.
really great resource right there. I want to remind all of our viewers that are watching right now, if you have any questions for Sarah during any of this, whether it's about the outdoors in Denver, about traveling, about the recycling, anything, go ahead and put those in the comments now. We're going to try to get to those towards the end. So ask away. I'm sure she's got answers for you if you got any questions. So, what's another thing that we can do, Sarah?
Yeah, so my last suggestion is if like the two things that I just mentioned, the US again and TerraCycle, those might be hard to find in rural areas. So my solution to that is that you can take your textiles to a retail store like H&M or American Eagle, and they will recycle your clothing and sheets and towels and stuff and everything for you. So that is another alternative.
So that's
And then
amazing.
my
So
last,
like you could
yeah,
just throw anything like that into a bag, take it into H&M, or what was the other one you said?
American Eagle.
American Eagle. Now, do people need to call ahead before they do this type of thing, or can they just haul it in?
I would maybe suggest just giving the store a call to let them know that you're coming because they can be caught off guard if you come in with like a big bag and be like, here, I'm here to recycle this. I mean, they'll take it, but I would just
Right.
give them a warning.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. And then
And then my last, oh, sorry.
no,
My
you're good. Go
last
ahead.
thing about recycling is to a Goodwill alternative, like where Goodwill, everybody knows Goodwill. You can take that stuff to women's shelters or homeless shelters accepting donations. I tried to look online to see if there were like LGBT like shelters or anything like that in my area, and I didn't really see anything like that, but there might be in your area, so it might be worth researching.
Yeah, and everybody's all over the place. I know in Dallas here we have Genesis Women's Shelter that is in the LGBT neighborhood. I don't really know how its affiliation with the LGBT community, but I know that it's very accepting and does a lot of great work right there in the neighborhood. So I'm sure people really specifically want an LGBT shelter to get involved with to try to give their used clothing to. Um, just Google it. What would we do without
Yeah,
Google? I mean, it's a great thing.
I know, right?
We were
Such a
talking
powerful
earlier.
tool.
It really is. Um, we were talking earlier too about micro textiles, micro
Uh,
plastics. I got that turned around.
Microplastics.
Microplastics. Share with
Yeah.
us about that because that's something that I wasn't even aware of until you were educating me about it. And this is something that I think is really important for us to know.
Yeah, so plastic is everywhere. I mean, we know this. There's a lot of plastic that breaks up into these little materials that you see here after time, and they're polluting the ocean. The ocean is filled with these little tiny sesame sesame seed microplastics. So, where does it come from? It comes from larger pieces of plastic that break off into these little beads that you just saw. Um, and it just gets circulated. I mean, the stuff never truly goes away from the earth. And then it's turned around, and these microplastic things are used in products that we use, like the microdermabrasion face wash that has these little like blue dots in the toothpaste here. Like those are like little microplasticky things that we are using in our daily hygiene routine, which is just crazy. And then, as you guys know, you know that the ocean is polluted with all of these microplastics. The fish are eating it, and in turn, eventually, we could be ingesting some of that stuff. So it's just a little bit concerning, and it's just something to be mindful about. So when we wash our clothes, they now have out these little these bags that you can put your clothes in and wash them like you normally do, and it helps catch some of the microplastics that are released from your clothes because a lot of our clothes are made with poly materials. So
Wow.
with that bag, it just helps prevent those microplastics from polluting our waterways and ultimately going out into the Great Lakes and oceans.
So, a question for you with that: if you use the bags and you're catching all these microplastics, are those something then that you can recycle, or what do you do with them after they're caught in the laundry bag?
I mean, that's a hard question because it's something that you just like you want to get rid of. So
Yeah,
um, I don't think that it's really like a recyclable material when it's broken down that low, to that
yeah,
extent. So in this case, I would just send it to the landfill, and it's going to be in the landfill for a long time, but it's better than going
going in
out
the
into the
ocean.
waterways.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you have as far as traveling and traveling sustainability? Because I know that you do love traveling.
Yeah. So when I travel, I try to be as mindful as I can about using single use plastic. So I will bring my own water bottle, I will bring my own reusable silverware, a reusable straw. Just like small things that don't take up a lot of space in my bag when I'm packing, and I use it every time. And it's just great because I know that I'm not using a bunch of single use plastic stuff when I'm out.
Very cool. I don't think that we even really think about how much single-use plastics that we even use. Like a lot of us are so conscious about the outdoors and we want to take care of the outdoors and love going hiking and stuff. But like, when was the last time that we've gone to a park or a nature trail and not seen single-use plastic just laying around? So,
Yeah,
huge, huge issue that we have going on.
agreed.
Take us on to your next thing that we wanted to talk about, which was another educational moment for me. Now, I didn't realize how big of a deal hot springing was. Um, but it's not, of course, I live in North Texas too, so there's not like there's a lot of hot springs around here. But Colorado, apparently there is. So educate us a little bit on hot springs.
Yes. So hot springs are my ultimate favorite thing to do in Colorado, especially like in the winter time when it's snowing and then you're in like a hot pool. It's fabulous. So I've hopped around to a lot of hot springs. This picture here is over in Mammoth Lakes at a geothermal hot site. Um, and these teal pools that you see back there in the right middle part of the picture, those are hot springs, and people actually used to be able to go there, but now it's just for looks. But some things that you want to be mindful of when you're going to the hot springs are that you're getting into mineral pools or salt pools, and you can get dehydrated very very quick. um, so you want to drink a lot of water. That these salts and minerals are so good for your skin and so good for like soaking your sore muscles after you've been hiking and stuff all day. So it's really relaxing. Um,
Sounds like it.
and then yeah, the second thing, well, really the first thing, I should have said this first, that you want to be mindful of when you are going to the hot spring is not to have any kind of like soap or shampoo or lotion or sunscreen or anything on your skin before you soak, because the oils and synthetic materials, they can contaminate and pollute the water. So you just want to be mindful other people use it and you don't want to be like polluting the water with your oil.
That makes perfect sense.
And
Does it cost anything to go to these springs? Are they part of like national parks where you pay a fee to get in, or are they just randomly up in the mountains? I'm totally clueless on this.
yeah, it just kind of depends on where you go. Some of them do charge an entrance fee. And then each hot spring is unique in its own way. There's some that are really intimate. And like just right out in nature. There's some that are more like spa-like, where you can get like mud baths and stuff. Like it's really cool. And then there's some that are like more like family friendly and they have like Olympic size pools, which I don't prefer to go to those kinds, but they are available out there for people who do want to take advantage of a scene like that.
An Olympic size hot spring? That's
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to be googling this later so I can get a
yeah.
visual for it.
I should have given you a picture. If you Google like I think it's Glenwood Hot Springs or something, you'll see it's like a big like it's just like a pool, but it's hot spring water.
And how deep are they usually?
It just depends. I mean, not anything that you can like dive in or anything like that. Um, but
Okay.
yeah, they're just like little holes in the ground most of the time.
Yeah. Very cool. Is there any causes that you're a part of that you'd like to share with us about?
Yeah. So before this Corona stuff hit, I engaged with a group on Instagram because one of my adventure friends did a hike similar to this last year, and then she asked me to be a lead on it. So that's how I was got affiliated with this group. But it's called Freedom Hikers, and they have collaborated with Rescue Freedom. And basically, these are two groups that are doing work to fight human trafficking. So, what we're going to do is we are going to summit the second largest peak in the contiguous US. It sits at 14,439 feet, and it's about 10 miles round trip. And yeah, we're just getting a small group of us together. We're raising money for it in the meantime and doing something that we love at the same time. So I'm really excited to connect with my internet friends for the first time ever on this hike. So it'll be really exciting and it's for a good cause.
That's amazing. And I know that you are trying to raise funds for this at such a great cause. So we're going to go ahead and put the link to that fundraiser in the bio below in the description of this YouTube video so that anybody that wants more information or would like to support Sarah, check it out. We're also putting some other links in the description below as well for resources about the things that we've talked about tonight. So the big question is, when quarantine lifts and you finally are free again, what's your first big adventure going to be?
It's going to be a toss up between Napa Valley and Phoenix, Arizona. So I haven't decided which one I'm doing first, but one of those.
Very cool. It sounds like it's going to be amazing, and I know that we're going to get amazing photos on your Instagram about it. So, speaking of your Instagram, we want to go ahead and put that up on the screen. So, if you want to follow Sarah and her adventures, you can. Sarah, I want to thank you so much for taking the time and chatting with our followers tonight. It was very educational. I've learned a lot. I think that they're going to learn a lot through this. So, thank you again, and we hope that you stay safe and have a great evening.
Thank you so much for having me, Justin. Have a great night and stay safe.
Thank you. We just want to take a moment now and remind you that if you are passionate about the outdoors and you would like to connect with us and try to help educate others, people in the LGBTQ plus community, get active outdoors, there's ways that you can do that through our platform. You can write blogs for us. You can join us on live chats, whatever it might be. If you're passionate about kayaking or anything outdoors that you think would be beneficial, contact us. Maybe we can work together and get the information and education out so that others can get involved with it. Our website again is lgbtoutdoors.com. Lots of great resources on there that we would love for you to check out. Be sure to subscribe below. And until next time, be safe out there. And we look forward to seeing you in the next LGBT Outdoors live video.